Hello, my beautiful Patreon members. It is Sean with your card of the week. We're going to find out the energy that you can. Oh, no. Actually, I have a different plan today. I forgot that my plan actually today, which is why we have this deck here, is to bring you a comforting message for your week. This deck is called the Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians deck. It is one of several decks that I use for the goddess readings. And typically, what I do is I will pull all the guys out of this one when I use it for a goddess reading, but there are indeed men in here as well, or male deities, I should say, because the deities aren't men or women, they are not human. And so, what I wanted to do today, I felt very called to bring you guys a comforting message from a deity today for your week to come. This is, again, not only is this a deck that I use for my readings when I do goddess readings for others or for my channel, but this is the one that this is my go to when I personally need comfort. I love most of my goddess decks. I have one that I'm actually thinking about gifting, like doing a giveaway on my channel. I bought it, was excited for it, but I just cannot connect with that deck. It doesn't mean that deck doesn't have value. It just isn't working for me. But I have several that are, for me, really helpful in many ways. But when I need comforting, when my soul is tired or my mind is tired, my heart is hurting, this is the deck that I reach for. And I think it's because the illustrations in it are softer. The energy of them is very soft. And it's funny because when I first got this deck, I couldn't connect with it either, and I almost gave it away. But something just told me to stick with it, and now I'm glad that I did because I have definitely found a use for it, and I hope that you find the message that comes through today through whichever deity we end up selecting from this deck. I hope you have use for the message and that it brings you comfort as well, because that is the intent as we pull. So let's find out which goddess, god, or guardian has a comforting message for your week to come. You have Thoth, divine masculine. Okay, so I'm not going to give you like a history lesson on this particular god. I will let you know that he is from the Egyptian tradition. I think sometimes he's referred to as Thoth, you know. And I actually, in one of my readings for myself, got Thoth. When again, I had gone to the deck to get comfort, and his card is the one that came up. And there are many messages associated with Thoth, right? You could be experiencing some, particularly since we are in currently the Mercury retrograde. One of my clients and friends, Rita, recently brought that to my attention. And sometimes what happens in a Mercury retrograde is things that that aren't dealt with come up. Some subconscious things come up, or even sometimes new awarenesses come up for us to deal with. And when we get Thoth in a reading, it can indicate that there is a wound connected to our perspective around masculinity that needs dealing with. Okay, so it could be for you that you actually have a wound from your childhood or even your adulthood with your actual paternal parent, that you're going to get the opportunity this week to deal with some of that. And just know that whatever comes up, it's not that you're being picked on, and it's not the resurgence or the you know just going through the same situation again with this paternal figure of yours. We'll just say father to shorten it, make it easy. But it's an opportunity to heal this thing that is possibly holding you back in some way. Because when something hurts, we don't want to touch it. And there may be goals or dreams, aspirations that you have for yourself, that as you move towards them or as you think about them, there's something that blocks you or keeps you from going forward or taking the next step or taking a step. And it could be directly connected to this wound from the paternal parent. because, the father, depending on when you were raised, we have these ideas about how the father was supposed to provide and protect. But I think more deeply, one of the things that a lot of people did not get from their fathers that we I think, on a core level need is approval and acceptance of who we are. Because that is the ultimate safety. Knowing that you are fine is the ultimate sense of safety. And with that understanding of yourself and yourself in the world and yourself as perceived by others, because we learn to perceive ourselves based on how our parents perceive us, which affects how they, treat us and how they talk to us. And so that then becomes the way we show up in the world, and it determines what we allow ourselves to do or what we deal with that we shouldn't deal with or deal with for very long. So there may be an opportunity this week for you to examine this relationship with your father and see if there is a healing that you are being invited to do around it. And it's not, I don't have to tell you, it's not magical, it's not instantaneous. But if you're willing to do the work, I think that there is gold for you on the other side, for lack of a better phrase. Like, there's what's going to open up for you when this is no longer a block or a hindrance might really surprise you. And, if it's hard to look at that relationship, and if it's hard to identify what the actual problem is, because for some of us, it is so subconscious that we're not even aware that it's there. I've seen girls or women who think they have a great relationship with their father, and I'm listening to them talk about it. I'm like, nah, he's a dick, right? So, if you want to, if you're comfortable with it, because I know we have with my audience on YouTube as well as my members here on Patreon, various belief systems. If you are comfortable asking the god Thoth, who again is of the tradition, the Egyptian tradition, so has its roots in his roots in Africa, at least our associations with him and the energy connected to Thoth, and is in its essence a positive deity. Ask him to help you see what it is you need to see that might need healing, and then to help you through the healing process. Because when we go to heal things, that shit hurts. And that's one of the reasons why we oftentimes won't do it. Another thing that can come up with Thoth as the card that the deity that we are being, made aware of today with this, looking for a comforting message, is to accept the masculine within yourself. This is something that is tricky for women, again, especially depending on when you might have been raised. There are several of us, like my generation in particular, that got the message that in order to be successful, in order to be powerful, we had to inhabit masculine traits or exhibit masculine behaviors, hence the pantsuit, right? And then there are some women who are the generation before mine, so that would be my mother's age and the women older than her, that didn't even get the opportunity to explore any elements of the masculine or characteristics that we associate with masculinity within themselves, because we had such strong binary definitions of what it means to be masculine and what it means to be feminine. And a lot of times the women of that generation and older, my mom's generation and older, so that would be like, my mom was raised in the 60s, and then so women who grew up in the 60s and before, not even have an awareness of the masculinity within them. And both of those that we Gen Xers, those of us who are Gen Xers and felt that we had to become masculine to be powerful or successful, and then those who didn't have a sense of their own personal power at all, because they weren't even allowed to, or not even allowed, it just wasn't a thing to see masculine qualities within themselves, without it being like, what's the word? Stigmatized. When there was a woman that was in any way masculine in the 60s and definitely the 50s or 40s, there was automatically this stigma put on her, and accusations about her sexuality, which may or may not have been true at all. the assumption that she had to have been a lesbian, and she was not just a lesbian, but she was a butch and all that other, and it was just a negative connotation. And so both of those are extreme. What those of us who are Gen Xers experience, having to masculinify ourselves, I made that up, don't know if it's a real word, in order to feel powerful. And then the women before us who didn't even get to tap into those characteristics that we consider to be masculine traits, that therefore living a life where they felt powerless. Two extremes. And so the guidance here for you might be that this week, see how you can integrate that part of you or those character traits that could benefit you that you may not have had access to yet, that are typically considered masculine, with the parts of you that are feminine, and you get the whole. I bring up often the concept of yin and yang, and I bring up the Taoism symbol of the yin and yang symbol, which is representative of Taoism. And I love the concept and bring it up so often because at its core it's about balance. And when we have balance, that's when we have wholeness. And having a sense of all parts of ourselves is what helps us to again feel safe. So the comforting message for you for this week is regarding safety. And it is regarding your sense of safety in the world based on your perceptions of yourself and how it is being informed by, or even dictated by, in some cases, your perception of masculinity, and how masculinity has either played out in your life or been absent in your life. And the god Thoth is a great entity for just gently letting yourself have more awareness of the positive aspect masculine nature can have in your life. Before I say goodbye, gosh, this is longer than I anticipated. These all are. These it's probably because I talk a lot, right? I mean, of course, that's why. But anyway, I do want to go ahead and read for you a little bit from the guidebook here, just because I am assuming that, knowing who my Patreon members at the time of this recording are, that some of you don't already know this deity. So I'd like to introduce you to him in a way that might help you to feel comfort in, again, connecting with that energy, okay? So this is the guidebook for this deck, and as we already see, divine masculine is the key word associated with Thoth. And there's a little note here that says, be a conduit for awakened masculine energy. Heal the father wound. And so to let you know a little bit about Thoth, it says here, yeah, it is pronounced Thoth, not Thoth. Thoth was a high priest in Atlantis before becoming, I don't know how to say this, it's an Egyptian word. Hold on. She's got a phonetic on here. I want to say Tahuti. The ancient Egyptian god of magic, wisdom, writing, and knowledge. In art, he was often depicted with the head of an ibis, his sacred animal. Ascribed to the gods, the ancient Egyptians attributed to him all works of science, religion, philosophy, and magic. The ancient Greeks called him Hermes and worshipped him as the inventor of astronomy, astrology, mathematics, and every branch of knowledge, human and divine. Thoth holds the divine masculine essence, where being active, purposeful, strategic, and logical synergizes with a healing sacred purpose. Thoth is stewarding a conscious, heart-opening, soul-aligned, masculine awakening. I will leave you with that. I hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you so very much for being my patrons. Oh, I forgot. There was something that I wanted to make sure I told you guys. You might have already seen it because I actually posted it in Patreon, in the feed, a couple weeks before this particular video is being revealed to you, but there is a special link for my Patreon members to buy their tarot readings. And I have included that on Patreon. If you go to my website to get a reading, you're going to see very distinguished client and VIP client readings, which you are, of course, so welcome to order. But what is not or visible on the website are the readings that are specifically available to you as a Patreon member. Okay. And so feel free to order from either. You will see there is more variety in terms of topic, as well as variety of pricing structures in the Patreon link than on the website, which takes you to the readings that are, again, specifically my VIP readings. And I feel like that's everything. Oh, and then the pick a cards. The pick a cards are on there as well. All right, you guys, take care and have a wonderful week.